I'm Jeremy McCargo. I'm the Anadromous Research Coordinator for the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. I'm a fisheries biologist and I study migratory fish like striped bass, American shad, hickory shad, and river herring. There's 4 things we want to keep in mind to reduce stress and injury of striped bass when practicing catch and release: temperature, technique, tackle, and tools. When water temperatures are high, it increases the stress level on a striped bass that's being caught and released. So we can reduce the amount of time we spend fishing when water temperatures are high. We can also, most importantly, reduce the amount of time that a fish spends in the hot air when it's hot on a warm summer day or a warm spring day. The best way to do that is to remove the hook without taking the fish out of the water.
Here's our typical size. You see this one's got it down in here. This is a way of dealing with a fish that's got it down in here. Go down and get the hook. There he goes. That's all it is to it. This is a perfect circle hook release. Never touch the fish. Here's the size of a lot of fishing wells. Just grab the line with the dehooker, go down to the bend of the hook. Not a bad fish. Grab the line with the dehooker, come down, find the hook, and boom. Grab the line. It comes up. I know that happens fast, but sorry, that's just the way it happens. Oh my gosh, that's a catfish. Hey, but this same technique works great on catfish. I thought something was wrong. All right, same thing. Grab the line. Go down to the hook, and boom, that's it. All right. Follow the line down, boom. All right, make a loop with your hand. Grab the line with the dehooker, and they literally will fall off. All right. Just grab the line, go straight down the leader until you grab it in. Oh my gosh, look at that, it just fell out. Oh, and there you go. There's the beauty of that. Sometimes they just come out on their own. Grab it, line down to it, and look. How easy did that fall out? Barbless circle hooks. Hey, little buddy. There we go. Grab the line, go straight down, with the hook. Look at that. How easy is that? Barbless circle hooks are the way to go. And Jeremy, if you would, discuss the tools that we were using today and how it affects the fish.
Sure, so we already talked about the circle hooks, and we talked about the fact that they're barbless to make them easy to remove. And the last thing we used was a dehooker tool. Commercially available dehooker tool. There's many styles, many designs. But essentially this allowed us to reach down to the fish and easily move the hook and remove the hook from the jaw of the fish. It's also helpful if the hook is a little deeper in the mouth of the fish, so you don't have to reach your hand in there. You can reach down with just this narrow dehooker and again get a hold of the hook and easily remove it. Again, when it's barbless, it comes out super fast and super easy, so we never have to remove the fish from the water and we can release the fish relatively unharmed. That goes along with the technique as well. We want to keep the fish in the water. If you catch a large fish, definitely use a landing net to control the fish, but still keep it in the water. Remove the hook and release the fish. And also another technique we can use is decreasing the amount of time it takes to fight the fish. And that leads us into the tackle. We want to use a stout rod, heavy line heavy enough to bring the fish in a relatively quick amount of time. Again, to reduce the fight that the fish puts up and reduce the amount of stress that the fish experiences when you're catching the fish. And the last thing is tools. We talked about dehookers as a great tool to use to remove the hook, to keep the fish in the water and let the fish go without handling the fish with your hands or with a rag or any other tool that would require you to take the fish out of the water. And going back to tackle, lastly, we talked about hooks. Barbless hooks are critical to reduce the amount of time it takes to release a fish. Barbless J hooks work. Barbless circle hooks, as we've shown today, work great when fishing with live bait to reduce the amount of deep hooking, as well as let you remove that hook easily because it's typically caught in the corner of the mouth. So as you're practicing catch and release for striped bass on the Roanoke River, remember temperature, technique, tackle, and tools.